getting tongue-tied because I've got two great guests in the studio this morning. We've got Chris Watson and Lorette Evelyn. Yes.
Hello.
A double identity. How are you guys?
We're good,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Are you good?
Pleased to see you.
Yeah, we're very pleased to be here and looking forward to doing the show.
Absolutely. Now we've got your album in the studio, Bridge 27.
Yeah.
Okay, and also you're going to be doing a song live and yourself, aren't you? Two songs.
Yeah, we're going to try and do
The Watson Boogie by
What's
Chris.
Some Boogie. That's something that I've written. And a classic New Orleans standard called The House of the Rising Sun.
Oh, well, you can't get better than that. It's a cracker track of music. But the Animals covered that, didn't they? It wasn't their actual song, was it?
No, I think
That's
it's a sort of it's one of these songs where I'm not sure who wrote it, but it's a sort of sometimes say anon, you know, it's just a sort of a standard, but it's probably 100 years or more in age and originates from New Orleans.
It's quite impressive, really, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've got to say, Chris, the one thing that interests me, really, because we talked about Lorette's musical career and how she started. When did you discover your talent?
And I was maybe 2, because I got a drum kit for my 3rd birthday. So I must have been hitting pots and pans and tabletops and driving everybody mad. And I thought, we'll get him a drum kit, I'll get him off the furniture, sort of thing. So yeah, it was quite early on, and then I got into the guitar at maybe 8, 9, and that was it really. I still play the drums. It's like a second instrument, but when I got hold of a guitar, it was almost I sort of instantly fell in love with it, and that was it. That was me finished.
So was it then musically? Was it then? It was always music that you wanted to do. I mean, from that then on, was it just music?
It was the music that I wanted to do, and for some reason, even from that early age, I almost concentrated exclusively on music, to the detriment of a lot of other things. But for almost from day one, that was going to be my life, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've got to say. So the term later on, get a proper job, probably came along.
Well, yeah, get a proper job, yeah, and my family are probably still waiting for me to get that proper job, but I don't think it's going to happen now.
But you're also a music teacher, aren't you?
Yeah, I teach guitar and a bit of drums and music, yeah.
Yeah. Where do you teach that?
Well, I teach at some of the local schools, the Thomas Deacon Academy.
Okay. Fair enough, yeah.
Teach guitar there. Sawtree Community College. I think that's what they call it. I think
Yeah, Sawtree
They've
Community.
changed
yeah,
the
yeah.
name now, haven't
They've
they?
changed the name, yeah.
Have
Everything's an academy now.
It is, yeah, like
Keep up with
Stanground
it.
Academy.
Sawtree Village
Yeah.
Academy, I think they're calling it.
Yeah, I have
now.
taught at Stangrove actually, but I'm not at the moment.
Jack Hunt, of
Jack
course.
Hunt's
Jack Hunt's
school, I
school.
do quite a lot there, yeah.
So that's amazing, isn't
Yeah.
it? Is there a particular model that is?
It's an SG Special,
Okay.
which is perhaps one of the cheaper SGs. You know, it's not like top end, but it's a wonderful guitar, and I've had it since I was 14.
14.
Yeah, saved up doing.
And the drums. Was it rock or jazz that first interested you? I mean, how did the love of jazz come along? Because obviously, you've progressed from playing guitar, but you play it in a jazz style.
Yeah.
So was it jazz always?
Well, it's interesting that you say, was it rock or blue or jazz? It was probably right in the middle of those two. It was blues.
Blues.
Probably opened the door.
Yeah.
You know, the early Clapton stuff. So
Oh, of course, yes.
B.B. King, Freddie King, the early Fleetwood Mac, those sort of things. Robert Johnson, the very early stuff. That kind of got me in, and from then on, the jazz seemed to be a natural progression. Plus the best of rock I'm interested in. Like we were playing earlier, the early Status Quo.
Status Quo, yeah. They were brilliant, weren't
Yeah.
they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about the influences that you had, like B.B. King, Eric Clapton, all them sort of people, John Mayall and the Blues Breakers
Yeah,
as
it's a
well,
great
which
album.
was good. Do you know what I mean?
An incredible album. Yeah, the Beano album, as they call it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is. I don't think there's ever been any better blues guitar than that.
Not really, no. Stevie Ray Vaughan might be.
Yeah, Stevie Ray's not played that well. I don't
No,
think
no.
It was sort of one of those moments where everything is right.
Absolutely, I've got to say. Now, B.B. King died earlier this year, didn't he? Do you know what I mean? At the age of, was it 89 or something like that?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
quite-
he did well,
quite a
didn't he?
big loss. Yeah, he did, yeah. But he always said he had a problem with chords on
Yeah.
guitar. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you find the same, or are you?
No, I'm almost the other way. I find it quite easy to play chords. You know, chords come naturally to me.
Okay.
So I don't know why he should be like that, really. But a lot of guitar players are. I either favour the lead or they favour the chords.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, they used to call them rhythm players.
Rhythm players, yeah.
Yeah, and which is you don't hear so much now. But I've done some recording sessions with when I've been on the lead, and I've had a rhythm player, and it was amazing. I did several sessions with this guy, and then one week he wasn't there. It was someone else, and I really noticed the difference. I mean, a good rhythm player like this guy who was there week in, week out, and suddenly wasn't there. When he wasn't there, it was like a big hole in the music. So there is a lot of value to being able to play a good rhythm guitar. It's an art. But yeah, I mean, my style is basically a combination of both, sort of mix of lead and rhythm going on at the same time in a way, although it's not going on at the same time, but it creates the illusion that it's going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's really good. Now, when people talk about you and they think about jazz, okay, a lot of people like myself think about big band styles. You know what I mean? But jazz is there's a more purest form, isn't it? You know, something like Miles Davis or something like that.
Yeah, the smaller groups.
Yeah.
I think what happened was after the war, the big bands started to decrease a little bit in popularity through two reasons. The economic factor, if you're going to put on a 22 or 3 piece big band and tour around with it, it's expensive on the road. But also the public taste changed, and with the increase in vocal music, which was probably down to better technology. So you started to get people like Frank Sinatra that used to have a crew. You know, I mean, we think of Frank as the great swinger, you know.
Yeah, of
but
course, yeah.
in the early days, he was a pop star.
He was indeed.
Yeah, so you know, it's vocal music came into prominence, and vocalists became more prominent than the bands. Whereas before it was the band, and the vocalist would come on and do a couple of numbers. You know,
And of course, you had the Satchmo as well, Louis Armstrong, and,
Yeah,
and all
Louis
those sorts of
Armstrong.
people. And you talked about Adam Johnson as well.
Yeah,
And you know, there's quite a lot of artists that came from sort of like the poorer backgrounds, if you like, to actually become very big visual stars.
yeah.
Now, on your journey, that guitar you're carrying there is a Gibson. What, is there a particular model that is?
It's an SG Special,
Okay.
which is perhaps one of the cheaper SGs. You know, it's not like top end, but it's a wonderful guitar, and I've had it since I was 14.
14.
Yeah, saved up, doing, cleaning people's cars. I was also doing a few gigs with my dad's band, saving, and I got £200 together, which was a lot back in
It was a lot,
1979
yeah,
or whatever it was. And then actually it was about 76 probably. We went to London with the money to try and buy a Gibson or a Fender perhaps. But when we got there, we noticed that we were just off the money.
Oh, right.
Everything started at about 250.
Wow.
And in those days, £50 was a lot. It was an unbreachable gap.
Aye,
So we
indeed.
were kind of wandering around thinking, well, it's not going to happen. We walked into a very famous music shop called Ivan Morant's and spoke to the assistant, and he, in hushed tones, said, "At home, I've got this Gibson SG Special, which I would sell you for £200, but I can't do it now in the shop because I'm working for the shop.
Yeah.
But if you pick me up from work at 5, we'll go to my flat." We lived in Highgate. And we went there, and he opened the case, and there was this guitar, which is amazing. You know, I got Gibson, and yeah, it's wonderful.
So how old is it exactly?
I think it's a 1972 model.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's
So
plus
20,
years.
20, 30 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've had it for 35 years or so.
35 years, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say. Now, when you're 14 years of age, right, you saved up all your money, you've been disappointed, and then all of a sudden this guy says to you, what was your first thought? I mean, was you sort of like eureka?
Yeah,
or?
I couldn't believe it because I kind of accepted in my mind that we couldn't reach the price to get a sort of entry level Gibson or Fender. We're just off the money, and as I say, £50 then was, probably like,
Well, it's a lot of money then,
it's
wasn't
a
it?
lot of money. So we couldn't do it, and then it all suddenly turned around, and I think when something's taken away from you, and then it's kind of offered to you again, you kind of want it even more.
That's right, yeah. Because I remember sometimes if I wanted something and I couldn't have it, I'd walk around, my head would go down like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then somebody would say, but we can do it for this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm having some of that. You know
That's
what I mean?
right. Yeah.
You know, it's brilliant, like, you know. But with that guitar, that's been your lifelong part then, really, hasn't it? But besides the ret, of course.
Yeah. Well, I guess it has in a way. I mean, I have to say there are times when I haven't played this guitar so much. I've maybe played another one, but it seems like I always come back to it.
Yeah.
And because I've had it so long, it's just like a comfortable pair of shoes. It just fits me.
Uh-huh.
And I get a great deal of joy from playing it, not just because it's a great guitar, but because of the history of that guitar regarding my own life.
Brilliant, so I've got to tell you. Let's talk first a little bit about the album Bridge 27.
Yeah.
I've got the first track one, Persia.
All right.
Now, what inspired this particular album? Because I've got to say, there's some great rhythms on it, I've got to be honest.
Thank you very much. The track Persia is inspired by, well, I don't want to get too political, but it's a little bit about the clash of civilizations, the Western civilization in conflict with the Eastern civilization. Western civilization being a modern power, and the Eastern civilization being an ancient power.
Pretty much.
And the beginning of the track, where I do the all that, is like a cry in the wilderness.
Now we're going to be talking about those rhythms in a bit. Like, I've got to be honest, because the way you just played that, you didn't even look at the guitar. You just went, it's amazing.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first track on the album, Bridge 27. This is Persia.
National Youth Jazz Orchestra, and I started to get recommended to people called fixers, which is an odd title, but they're people that arrange for musicians to go in and play for recording sessions for singers or for advertising jingles or films or whatever the music may be. You're a hired gun in a way. You go in, they put the music in front of you, you sit there, you keep quiet, you read it, you try and get it right first time, and then you walk away, and that's it.
And that's
for
it.
the next job, yeah.
But I've got to say that sounds really hard to get into, though.
I think it is hard to get into. There's a lot of competition, but fortunately I could read music, which is definitely need.
Yeah.
But Cilla Black was somebody that I did a number of recording
Really?
sessions for, yeah.
Brilliant stuff.
And she would be in the studio getting on with her business, and she was very, very down to earth.
What sort of songs did you play on and stuff with Cilla?
With Cilla, well, I don't know whether you remember the TV show called
Yeah.
Surprise Surprise.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Well, I used to be in that orchestra much of the
Really?
time. Yeah, and
Wow.
there would be a live play on and play off of the show, and then if she sang a song, we would do it. But I can't.
She did
Unfortunately.
that surprise song. Life is
Oh, that's it.
full of surprises.
Yeah, that's it. All that sort of thing.
The beautiful voice of Lorette there, I've got to say.
Yeah, thank you. The thing that because you're going from one session to another, or maybe working in a pit orchestra and then going on to something else or a West End show, you don't really take on board too much what you're doing at the time. You just do the job and go. So I can't really remember what songs that she sang, but we must have recorded some things in the studio as well. But I can't remember what they were. I'm afraid.
No, that's fine. What else would you say you've sort of worked with, or big adverts or something like that?
Well, the Sugar Babes was probably the most sort of claim to fame one. That was a different sort of recording studio, recording session. That there wasn't any music involved. It was just a backing track, which was stripped quite down and basic. And they said, we want this a bit like that Persia thing. We want a Middle Eastern type solo, which the producer of the record had heard me do in a jazz club in Soho. So he heard me playing that way, and he must have thought, that's what we want on our record. So I went in and tried a few solos, and that's it, that's what we want, so off you go. And again, you try and do your best for them. But that was more of a creative recording session where they're looking for me to create rather than read a piece of music that they've already written out. So that was quite interesting, and it was a real shock to me that the record got close to number one, I think.
It was actually a top hit, yes, it was, and
yeah.
I think it hit. I was reading something about it. I think it hit number 5 in America, something like that.
Right,
It's top in
pretty
America and Britain. You know what I mean? So
that's pretty good,
yeah, but the Sugar Babes are pretty good. You ever sing with the Sugar Babes, Rhett?
Can't say enough. Sorry.
Well, I have to say, I didn't know who the Sugar Babes were when I went and did that session. I'd never heard of them. and I don't really know who they are now. I have to confess. But
Oh, you can't say that.
well, I kind of they've changed so often, haven't they?
They have indeed. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
I
there's
mean,
actually only one remaining member, isn't there?
Yeah. Do you want to, when you do the song together,
Yeah.
do you want to sing through that, Mark? Because I think it's going to echo a little bit.
Do you?
I
Oh,
do.
it's an effect.
Okay, fair enough.
So
That's what we do then.
You
Okay.
might. Should we do it?
Yeah, we'll do
you
it.
want to do the
Yeah,
song?
yeah. What's it called, by the way? And what's
We're
it about?
doing House of the Rising Sun.
Oh, of course, yeah. Together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
A standard
And then
song,
Chris is
yeah.
going to do one of his own, isn't
He
he?
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
He's going
right,
to do
okay.
one on
Shall I
his own.
start?
Brilliant stuff. Yeah, carry on.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man down in New Orleans. Well, I've got one foot on the platform, the other's on the train. I'm going back to New Orleans to wear that ball and chain. There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. And God, I know I'm one.
Oh, how about that? That is just absolutely amazing. We could do with an audience in this, I've got to be honest.
Cheers.
That was fun. And the actual effect there on the actual
Yeah,
thing.
really
Was that,
was.
whose idea, was that your idea, Chris?
Well, it was Lorette's idea. I bought her this effects unit for.
My
Well,
birthday.
she said it was birthday and Christmas, but it turns out it had to be just birthday.
Really?
But yeah,
That's not true.
we've recently been getting into it, but it's quite amazing, isn't it?
That is absolutely
Yeah.
brilliant, I've got to tell you. Oh, it's just, it's so, you've got such a lovely voice, Lorette, you know what I mean? How do you keep it sharp?
I'm not sure. You're very kind. Well, you know, I warm up every day. I think that's important.
Yeah.
You know, and don't do too many of the bad things. Singers, you know, cheese, dairy, all that kind of stuff isn't
Okay.
great.
Of course. Yeah.
Smoking, which I don't do.
No, you don't know, no.
So just try and be good, really.
Like an angel.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
he
you've
says
got-
all the right things, Brian.
I do my best, you know what I mean? No, but seriously, I mean, you were glowing there like you, Chris, was just so focused on the record,
Yeah.
you weren't even looking at the guitar.
Oh.
Okay, honestly, seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really good. Now, just before you go into your song, what are you going to be doing for us, by the way?
Well, I thought I'd play you this piece called Watson's Boogie, which is a blues that I've written. It's an instrumental piece, and I think you'd probably enjoy it, judging by what you were playing.
Well, my name's Watson anyway, and I've always got a boogie on, so...
So today it's Brian Watson's Boogie.
Yeah.
Why not?
Actually, it's Chris's invention, so I'll tag along on this.
Yeah,
Do you want to take it away, Chris?
Take it away, yeah,
Brilliant,
sure, yeah.
We might as well while we're on a roll.
Okay, here we
Why
go
not?
then.
Oh yeah, that was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
I have got to say, I've seen guitar players, you know, but watching you play that guitar was just absolutely fantastic. I'm serious.
Thank you.
The bending of the chords. What sort of techniques were you using? Was it plucking or picking or?
Yeah, plucking and a bit of picking, and trying to get a little bit of a bite on the notes, double notes together, chords. Yeah, sort of trying to throw it all in, bit of bass. Yeah.
That was I've got to say that was just fantastic. The rep I've been giving out clicking
Yeah, that was
fingers there, you
good.
know what I mean?
Clicking was great,
Like
thank
that.
you. Yeah, I like the clicks,
We're going to
yeah.
start talking about the album very soon. Okay. I want to play a second track off. Is that okay?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
do.
Now, track number 3. Okay. I believe it's Montego Roots.
Yeah.
What inspired that?
That was inspired by 2 weeks that I spent in Jamaica some time ago, it has to be said, but it made an indelible impression upon me. The beautiful white sand, the blue sea, the sky with a low cloud, the palm trees, a wonderful place, and reggae music everywhere. So what I did, I kind of found a common ground between reggae and jazz and sort of fused them together, and it came out with the riff.
We could almost do it live, couldn't we?
We could.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
brilliant stuff.
Acapella.
Without further ado, just to give Chris and even the rest for a second, okay, this is Montego Roots off the album Bridge 27. Yes, welcome back to CityBuzz on People FM. One station, many communities. I nearly missed the cue there, didn't I? Do you know what I mean? You can tell the only production team we've got. I've got to thank Gordon Lee, who's doing all the filming today. Okay, brilliant. We are talking to Chris Watson, the Chris Watson Jazz and Blues Band. We've got Lorette Watson, his wife, also Lorette Evelyn, the folk singer. Yes, we've got double header here.
Just to confuse you and keep you on your toes.
Absolutely. And of course we're talking a little bit about the rhythms, and that was Montego Roots, which was based from when you went to crossing to the Caribbean, and that wasn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they've got there are a lot of sort of like country names, like Africa, for instance.
Yeah.
Now that was by a BBC programme, wasn't it?
Yeah, I have never been to Africa, but I think the Attenborough programmes about Africa for the BBC have been marvellous.
They're stunning, aren't they?
Yeah, and especially with the the cameras, the quality of camera work now, you can almost pick out more than the human eye ever could.
Absolutely.
And what you get to see and appreciate is quite amazing. So it was an inspiration, yeah.
So when you first thought about this album, what actually inspired you to write the whole album? Why call it Bridge 27? What's it all about?
The track Bridge 27 is quite an interesting one because most composition starts with a little idea that you then flesh out over time. Bridge 27 was one of those rare moments when the piece just comes into your mind in one go, and it was inspired by a place in Kimber by a lock, and the bridge number is 27, so there is actually a bridge 27. It exists, and
yes, where my parents live.
it's on a canal, and you can still see on the bridge, scoured into the rock, the rope marks where horses pulled the old barge ships
Wow.
at the time of the Industrial Revolution. Yeah, so that's the kind of inspiration behind it.
So really there's a lot of history in this particular album, like, do you know what I mean?
Oh,
You know,
so,
because
yeah.
obviously Africa's got a history,
Yeah.
Persia certainly, and you've also got on there another good song I like is the Work song.
Yeah, works, yeah.
Was that something to do with the way you work hard, or just a general inspiration?
The work song is a jazz standard. I didn't write it. It's from the Cannonball Adderley and Nat Adderley in the 60s. But I've put a different spin on it, hopefully, a sort of a contemporary spin on it. I think I mean we've all done jobs we don't.
Don't
like.
know, yeah, of course, yeah.
So it's not too difficult to relate to that type of thing. But it's a call and response tune. You know, you've got the melody and then you've got the response from the band, and I quite like that interaction.
What sort of melody is guitar playing? Just give me a quick, if you
Well,
could.
of work song.
Yeah. You could use that for a TV theme, couldn't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I love that, I've got to be honest. But on the whole album, a lot of it's your own sort of creation, a lot of your own stuff. How do you go about writing something? Is it the lyrics first? Is it the music? Or is it just an idea?
Well, when I write, I kind of get an idea, a musical idea, maybe a rhythm, as I was saying earlier with the Persia, or maybe a little riff like the. And that kind of comes first, but it's like a bite-sized thing, and then the rest of it I have to kind of discover. It's rare that it does come out in one go, but sometimes it does. Like Bridge 27 was sort of just conceived it and that was it. But yeah, there's never really a set way. It just sort of happens. One day you think, oh, that, and you start playing it, and oh, this would be good. I'll do something with it.
When you do that, because we haven't yet mentioned your jazz and blues band,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Do you get an idea and take it to the people? Who are the guys, by the way?
Thank you. The band is on bass, Bruno Ochorley, on drums, Eddie Kavanagh, on percussion, Martin Bright, and on saxophone, Dave Lewis.
So it's a full set there. You
It's
got
a five-piece band with Lorette doing some guest
vocals as
singing.
well.
Yeah.
Because you
Don't
focus
forget
on
the narrator.
And narrator, yeah, Rob Luckham, who also mixed the album. Rob comes on and does some narration for us on Earthman.
brilliant stuff. I've got to say. I've got to say, I love the album myself. I mean, because I think I was rushing it when I first listened to it, so I weren't really prepared for it.
Yeah.
But when I put it on the second time, like, I've got more time and everything else, and I can actually chill out to it, do you know what I mean? It's absolutely amazing. Now you're going to actually launch this album, aren't you, at a gig?
are.
We're going to find out a little bit. We're just going to play a bit of Bridge 27, is that okay, the
lovely.
top track?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just give your voices a rest, like, you know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes. Yes, welcome back to CityBuzz. People FM, one station, many communities. We're talking to Chris Watson. We've also got Loretta Evelyn in the studio, who's had a great song, great version of Mouse and Rising Sun. I've got to say, beautiful
Cheers.
it was. Chris is launching his new album at the gig, okay, and I believe that's at the Peterborough Sports and Social Club, is it?
It's at the Parkway Sports and Social Club. Maskew
I was
Avenue.
almost there, Chris.
Almost there, yeah. Parkway Sports and Social Club, Maskew Avenue, PE1 2AS. And it's on Friday, the 11th of September at 7:30. Everybody's welcome. It's free. It'd be great to see you down there.
What, no tickets? Free?
Free? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
free entry.
Yeah, we want
Wow.
to. We want to showcase our album, and we don't want people to have to pay for that. We want you to come along and enjoy the music.
Are you going to play the Watson Boogie, by the way? I might come down just
yeah,
for that.
I may well do. I may well do. We're certainly going to
Make
do.
a good encore, wouldn't
Maybe make a good encore. Yeah.
Certainly would, yeah.
We've rehearsed
And
it.
not only that, you know, I mean, like when you play like tracks from the album, sometimes it just gives it that little bit of a break, and people sort of like get into the mood. Do you know what I
That's
mean?
right. Yeah, it
Absolutely.
just breaks it up a bit.
we
Yeah.
have got a few surprises thrown in there.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, we're going to play a few things that people know as well.
Yeah.
Excellent
There'll
stuff
be
as
some
well.
covers.
Are we going to see you dancing, Lorette?
Hopefully. Just not on stage because I might fall off.
I've got to say, we're getting ready to play the last track on the album. Or would be getting ready to play the last track on the album. I mean, you've got it set up here at the moment. But we think it is... there it is. Yes, we've got it set up. Now, we talked about the inspiration for this, Chris.
Yeah.
Now, how long has it taken you to get this all together and to prepare the launch?
Well, it's been quite a process, really. I mean, the band's been together for, well, we're in our 4th year, so the album took a couple of years to record and mix by Rob, as I said. It's been quite a long process. It doesn't happen overnight. Obviously, you've heard the album's got a concept. We've got an identity as a band.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen
Overnight.
immediately. No, you have to work at it, and we're still working at it, and the music's still developing because jazz is like that. It's a sort of ongoing process.
And of course, you can get it influenced with different rhythms, aren't you?
That's
Tuning
right.
rhythms, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah,
like that,
yeah, and we're still growing as musicians. I'm still growing as a musician and writer, so it's ongoing. Yeah, the album's like a snapshot in time. Yeah.
Now, one thing I've got to ask, because obviously people are going to want to know where they can get the album from and how they're going to follow you, Chris. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lorette's trying to sabotage me here.
Yeah,
you know?
Why don't
No,
you,
seriously.
You can
Sorry.
get the album from eBay.
Okay.
If you just put in Chris Watson Bridge 27, it'll come up. Also, of course, you could come to the gig and buy a copy of the album.
Absolutely.
There, and we're going to do a special price that evening of £5.
Yep.
So that's sort of half price for people that turn up. We've also got, Lorette, maybe you could help me out with this. We've got a Facebook page, haven't we?
Yeah, well, similarly, if you just type Chris Watson on the pages, it should come up. I think it's as simple as that, really.
Yeah.
You're creating a website as well, are you not? Are you creating a website? 'Cause
We're
it's
in
not
the midst
finished
of
yet.
doing it,
It
yeah.
is, yeah.
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
So we get a notification on Facebook, I take it, when
Yeah.
that happens.
Yeah.
And Lorette, how people going to follow your music? Quickly.
Well, similarly, in fact, Loretta Evelyn band page. Yeah.
Brilliant stuff, I've got to say. Chris, thank you very much for coming and sharing the rhythms of this.
Thank
It's been
you,
absolutely amazing,
Been
I've got to
great.
say. And watching you play that guitar, it's like you don't even know the guitar's there. It's just instinctive, do you know what I mean? It's absolutely amazing. We've got to
Thank you.
give a round of applause. I think we should, you know what I mean? Absolutely amazing. Absolutely fantastic. It's time to play out with Africa. Okay.
La 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 la. star.